Good morning students, welcome back to online classes. So in today's class we are going to see our next input that we are going to apply for your high pass RC circuit, right? So that is your square wave input. So in the previous class we have seen what is first a high pass RC circuit, then which kind of input signals you are giving to that one. So in that one we have seen three input signals that we are applying for your high pass RC circuit. First one was your sinusoidal wave, correct. After that we have seen the step voltage, how we are giving and what are the frequency responses for that one, and next we have seen about your pulse input voltage, right? So what is the pulse amplitude and what is the pulse duration was there. I have told you about that one. Along with that one, the pulse will be having different kinds of steps, and you can also say that you will be having a steeping voltage there. So we have seen what is a step voltage, and what we have seen the three conditions where you can see the high pass circuit of a pulse if RC is by T is greater than T or less than T or equals to T. What are the frequency responses and how your tilting will be done, and the derivations for the tilting is also been shown in the last class. In today's class we are going to see our next input that you are going to apply for your high pass RC circuit, that is your square wave input, okay. And I think one more will be there, ramp also, or else I'll just check whether we have finished ramp or not. So we'll be seeing the square wave input and the ramp, then we'll move on to the next topic of your chapter, okay. But after so many times of reminding also, only 29 students have submitted me the assignment till now, even though I have given the time for your paper, okay. So from my side, don't expect anything that I'll be giving attendance or any grazing marks or something. This time I'll be very strict for your attendance as well as for the marks, because inconvenience to your people. All the faculties are hardly working for your people in this tough times also, and your people are unable to complete the assignment, okay, that too sitting at your home. After this many days of vacation, 35 days I think I have given the assignment time, right? So before vacation I have given. Till now no one has, only 29 students have submitted the assignment out of 75 I think. So the remaining students who haven't submitted the assignment, even though they submit also, I won't give the attendance after this. Not even the assignment and not even the assignment marks for this also, okay. So let's move on to the next topic, okay. So we are going to apply our square wave to the high pass RC circuit. Now what actually means a square wave? A waveform which will be maintaining at one voltage level or one constant level voltage V dash for time t1, and after some time it will be maintaining the voltage V double dash at a time t2. So the overall time period of your square wave will be T is equals to T1 plus T2. Here I'll just directly telling, see, a square wave is nothing but it is a periodic wave which will be maintaining a constant voltage level, that is nothing but your amplitude, which I have showed in your last class clearly. So one constant level V with respect to one time T1, this is actually T1, then it will be changing abruptly to the another voltage level V double dash at the time constant T2. So the overall time of your voltage level from one part to the other part will be called as your T1 plus T2. So that particular part or that particular waveform which will be indicated as your square wave input. So this is what we will call as square wave input. So from here it will starting at this point T1, it is maintaining one voltage level V dash, and after this time at T2, then it will be maintaining the voltage level V double dash, this one. So the overall voltage level will be V1 plus V dash plus V double dash, and the overall time period of your square wave is your T is equals to T1 plus T2. Correct? It is clear? Here T is equals to T1 plus T2 and V is equals to V dash plus V double dash. This is the overall amplitude of your square wave input, and this is the overall time period of your square wave input. Now here firstly we are interested to find out the steady state output waveform, okay, how it will be imposed to. So in that one we have to prove that any periodic input waveform, the average level of the steady state output signal from the circuit is always 0 independent to that of your DC level of the input. first we have to do this thing, that we have to find out the any periodic waveform at the average level of the steady state output signal from a circuit should be zero, should be always zero or independently of your DC input voltage, because at the starting point it should be zero. So for that one we are going to see these things. So this is the square wave. We have said a square wave may be treated as series of positive and negative steps, and the shape of your square wave depends upon the time constant, like how much time constant you are considering. If it is larger, then it will be your T2 is the time period is larger, then it will be differentiating. If it is small, which is T1 or T2 are equal, then you will be getting proper square waves. So this is how your square wave will be there. Okay, so now we have to see the mathematical part. So here the figure 1.34D and E will be showing the output waveforms of your high pass RC circuit under steady state condition for the cases RC greater than equals to T, greater than T, RC less than greater than T, RC greater than of T, RC greater than T, then RC will be equals to T and RC less than T. These are the four conditions we are showing here. So for that one we have to see what are the steady state responses first. Okay, there are the four figures that will be showing over there. So before we move on to that one, first we will see, okay, first we will see what is a time constant which will be large or small, and what will be the operation for that one. Okay, now see, when the time constant is large, that is RC by T, or is greater than of T, or RC by T1 or RC by T2, or very large in comparison to unity, the output is same as the input but with zero DC voltage. Okay, I'll repeat it once again. Here see, first I'll just highlight these conditions. These are the conditions that we are going to see. Okay, now see, when the time constant is large, that is RC by T or RC by T2, first this is the first time period of your first wave, then first pulse, this part, this one, or RC by T2, this one. If they are greater than or very large in comparison to the unity, the output is same as the input but with a zero DC level. Okay, you will be having a zero DC level over there. Now with the condition is RC is greater than T, the output is in the form of a tilt. Now if you are having this one, the output is, now you are having a small tilt over here in this part. Okay, when RC is greater than of your T, so the so incomparable, when RC is comparable to T, when it is equals to T, so the output raises and falls exponentially. It will be rising and it will be falling exponentially. And when RC is less than T, okay, that is RC by T1 or RC by T2, this is printing mistake, this is RC by T1 and RC by T2 are very small in comparison to unity or 1. The output consists of an alternative positive and negative spikes. I'll show you the figure of that one. Okay, you'll be having so in this case the peak to peak amplitude of the output is twice the peak to peak value of the input. Here the peak to peak value of the amplitude will become twice that of your input value, in which condition RC is less than of your T. So in fact, for any periodic input waveform under steady state conditions, the average level of the output waveform from the high pass RC circuit will be shown is always zero independent of your DC level of the input. So that will be proving here, that we have to prove that. So first condition is, what is the first condition, ma? This is your input square voltage. Okay, very first condition is that RC is greater than of T. What is what we have seen here? RC is greater than of T. It means the output is in the wave. Here it will be large. The output is same as the input, but you will be having zero DC voltage. Shall I highlight all these three conditions over here? I'll be highlighting with a different color so that you people can make a note. Okay, if this is for your RC greater than T, okay, when RC is greater than, the output will be same. Then you see RC, we have seen four conditions here. RC is very greater than T, correct? See here, RC is very greater than T. Then RC is greater than T, RC is equals to T, and RC is less than T. This is the condition which I have given only for the RC is greater than T. Now when the RC is only greater than T, then the output will be having some form of tilt which will be comparable to T. I'll giving in one more color. Okay, now the RC is comparable to T, the output falls and rises exponentially Okay, then when RC, this is the part of your RC less than, now it is RC is less than T, you will be getting small spikes over here. Okay, what you will be getting here, you will be getting small spikes here. You will be having positive and negative pulses will be moving exponentially. Okay, write this three, first write these three conditions. I'll wait for some time. So the first condition, RC is greater than T, you will be having same output and input, both this will be same without respect of your 0 DC voltage. Then second condition, RC is less than T, greater than T, then you will be having a positive exponential increasing and decreasing, output will be raising and falling exponentially. I'll show the figure also. Then RC is less than T, you will be getting positive and negative spikes, and you have to keep in mind that the positive the negative spikes of this output will be twice than that of your input spikes or the input amplitude voltage. Okay, now these three other conditions. Now see here, a first condition, a square wave output waveform, second output waveform of an arbitrary large, which is very large. So this will, what is the first condition I have said, ma? You will be having the same output voltage as that of your input, correct? This is the same output voltage that you have got from the input, correct? Now RC is greater than T, which is the second condition, where you will be getting the exponential rising and falling of your output voltage. Okay, exponentially raising and falling of the output voltage will be seen here. Then third one, you will be having RC is less than T, you will be getting the spikes here, positive and negative spikes. But the condition what you have said, they will be, these spikes of voltage or the amplitude will be twice than that of your input voltage. What is the input voltage? From here to here you got a V, correct? V is equals to V dash plus V double dash, or from positive end to the negative end. But here see the condition, here it is V and here it is V, means completely it has become twice, 2V we have got. So the condition is that it will be twice than that of your input voltage. Fine, I hope you are clear. This is output when RC is less than T, and that was your output when RC is comparable T and RC is greater than T. Okay, these are the conditions that we have seen. I hope you are clear all with all this one. Okay, now see the mathematical part of this one. So the proof is always following with respect to the KVL. So now take the input voltage Vi of t, which we have already seen, okay, in the previous classes. 1 by C is equals to integration of I of t into dt plus V naught of t. These you have to get from the equation, that how you are going to apply the network, what is the consideration. I am telling the textbook which you have to prefer for this PDC, that is pulse and distal switching waveform circuits, third edition by the author Milliman. It will be of green and black pen. Please refer this textbook. I will also tell the page number 30 and 31. You will be having the clear idea like how you will be getting these waveforms. Okay, so this how you got this input voltage, but from where you got, all this will be shown clearly in this page. So I'll repeat it once again. Pulse and distal switching waveforms book by the author Milliman. On the page number 30 and 31 we will be get clear idea of all the derivations which I am telling here. Okay, now the input voltage Vi of t is equals to 1 by C integration of I of t into dt plus V naught of t, input and output. This both we have considered. Now this I of t, by using the Ohm's law, we have I is equals to V by R. The V is nothing but the output voltage what you are considering, that I will be taking here V naught of t divided by R. So that this can be written as 1 by RC integration of V naught of t into dt plus V naught of t. Now you will be differentiating this equation on both sides. Then after differentiating, of course you will be remove this one. So the answer will be d by I of t by dt is equals to V naught of t divided by RC plus dV naught of t divided by RT. Now multiplying this dt and integrating this equation over one period of time, so that if you are integrating a one period of time means t is equals to capital T. So the limits will be from 0 to capital T. So one period of time means this is one period. Okay, I am considering this one period of time. So that's the reason I am taking it as 0 to t. Then you have to integrate this one and you have to multiply it with dt. So overall the equation that you will be getting it as Vi of t, that is minus Vi of 0 is equals to 1 by RC 0 to t V naught of t dt plus V naught of t minus V naught of t. V naught of 0. So under the steady state conditions, the output waveform as well as the input signal is repetitive with a period time t, so that V naught of t is equals to V naught of 0 and Vi of t is equals to Vi of 0. This is at the under the steady state responses. Okay, this will be repetitive. So this you have to keep into the consideration, and you have to see the waveforms, and these waveforms are therefore are periodic with a fundamental periodic t, but without a DC components with respect to the high pass RC circuit that we have seen in the last class. So overall we can say that these are the 3 points that we can say the conclusion points. The average level of the output signal is always 0 independently of the average level of the input. Okay, I'll repeat it once again. The average level of the output signal is always 0 independent of whatever you will be applying at your DC voltage. So it will be average level of the input. Whatever the input you will be getting, that output you will be getting. So the output must consequently extend in both positive as well as the negative directions with respect to the 0 voltage axis, and area of the part of the waveforms above the 0 axis must be equal to the area which is below the axis also. So here what we can say that whatever the area you are getting from the this is the 0 axis at the input voltage, if this much part you are getting at the input is the same, that should be got at the output also. So here the output must consequently extend in both the positive as well as in the negative directions with respect to the 0 axis. So this is the 0 axis, this is the positive, and this is the negative axis, right? Now next thing is that the area of the part of the waveform above the 0 axis must be equals to the area which is below the 0 axis also. This is the condition. Now next second one, when the input changes abruptly by an amount of V, here the output also should be changing abruptly by the equal amount and in the same direction. When you are changing the input in the V direction, that is this much of amplitude if you are having, then output should be also changed by the this much of amplitude. So these both should be same, and the direction also should be same. So during any finite time interval, when the input maintains a constant level, the output decays exponentially towards the 0 voltage. Now here it will be decaying, it will be decreasing to the 0 voltage. So these are the concluding point that will that are about your what you can say square wave input. Okay, so I'm not taking it very lengthy, which are important, very important for you people, and the points that I have told. Anyhow, I'll be sharing the notes also. Please do practice, maintain the notes, and see the waveforms properly. Okay, I hope you are clear with this part. Now let's see the next what we can say the next part. Now see. Now under steady state conditions, the capacitor charges and discharges to the same voltage levels in each cycle. Okay, so what happens in the steady state conditions, the capacitor will be charging and it will be discharging in each cycle, in one cycle. So the shape of the output waveform will be always fixed. Now for 0 less than t less than t1, the output is given as V naught of 1 is equals to V1 e to the power of minus t by RC. At the conditions t is equals to t1, this part, and V naught of 1 is equals to V1 dash, that is equals to V1 e to the power of minus t by RC. Now what is the condition I am taking? For t1 is less than or t less than of t1 plus t2. For the condition whole, this part, for these complete, first we have taken this part, then from here to here we are taking the part. Now, so what happened, the output will be, the complete output will be considering, and V naught of 2 is equals to V2 into e to the power of minus t minus t1 divided by RC. Also V1 dash is equals to V1 dash minus V2 is equals to V, and V1 dash V1 minus V2 dash is equals to V. So for this relationship, V1, V1 dash, V2 and V2 dash, which are all, they have to be computed. So that all computation and will be given by the expression of your percentage tilt. So this expression of your percentage tilt when can be found or can be derived by using the time constant RC of a circuit which is very large compared to that of the period of the input signal waveform. So that is, we can say that when RC is greater than of t. So we can derive this percentage of tilt when the output waveform is in the condition of RC is greater than of your t. So for the symmetrical square wave with the zero average value, we are considering the condition. So that is V1 dash is equals to minus V2 and V1 is equals to delta of V2 and V1 dash is equals to minus V2 dash, and that can be considered as V2 dash, and T1 is equals to T2 is equals to T by 2, half of the part we are considering now. So the output waveform when we are considering, it is at RC is greater than T. So this is the condition we are considering first. Okay, here we will be considering this output where percentage of tilt. So V1 is equals to V2 e to the power of minus t divided by RC. That will be is equals to V1 plus V1 e to the power of minus t by RC, that is equals to V. Okay, these are the condition. V1 minus V2 dash is equals to G. So these V1 dash and V2 dash, this is how we have got and we have considered over here. So the overall equation or the percentage of tilt can be given as P is equals to V1 minus V1 dash divided by V by 2 into 100. So overall it can be written as V1 minus V1 e to the power of minus t divided by 2 RC divided by V1 of 1 plus e to the power of minus t divided by 2 RC into 200, because these two I am cross multiplying over here. So this is how you have to multiply and get the output mark. This is the percentage of tilt from, this is the output waveform V0 of 1 of t and this is V0 of 2, and here we are considering this part. So that's the reason we have taken t by 2 for this one time period. Okay, now we are considering a linear tilt of a symmetrical waveform where RC is greater than t. Okay, and this is V by 2, the half of your amplitude voltage. So for a time constant t divided by RC which is less than t, you are going to find out the equation. So overall we can say that the P is equals to pi f1 by f into 100%. So the percentage of t, percentage of tilt can be given as pi f1 by f into 100, where f1 is equals to 1 by 2 pi RC. This we have found at last class itself, a lower cutoff frequency of a high pass RC circuit. Correct? So I hope you are clear with this part. Okay, please do practice it very well once again, because I am not having a board to explain over you people. So you have to maintain the notes and you have to practice properly, especially in the online classes. So I hope you are all clear with this part. Okay, please practice it very. I'll wind up the class here itself today. In case of any doubts, please do let me know. Watch the classes. You will be having internals very soon. So please do maintain the attendance, notes, assignment, as well as your what we can say, see the video properly. Okay. In case of any doubts, please do let me know. Thank you.